In this episode of Policy Talks, the Education Minister of Punjab, Vijay Inder Singla, is in an in-depth discussion about the state's education policy with the Centre for Civil Society CEO Yatish Rajawat. Singla, who also was a Congress MP from the Sangrur Lok Sabha constituency from 2009 to 2014, has also represented India at the 2013 UN General Assembly. Singla also holds the portfolio for PWD and is known as an energetic implementer of policies in the Punjab government.
Bulk of your schools in Punjab are unaided private schools in the sense that they don't take land from the state, they don't take any aid from the state. They run it on their own premises, which is either a house or a land that is privately owned. The percentage of that is close to 80%. The aided private school, as you're referring to, the other schools, they contribute a small 5 to 6% of the total universe of schools in your state, and they constitute a small percentage of the private sector school. But I understand the concern that you are pointing out that one wrong action can color the perception of the whole sector. But my question was specifically more geared towards education reforms. This is not an easy situation to solve for a policymaker, and you can go into micromanagement of insisting on badges or controlling the pricing or controlling the uniform pricing or where they should buy. These are all called interventions by the state. They can only increase the complexity of the enterprise to function. So again, I'll repeat the question. Do you think that the state should form a state regulatory body which only regulates, and the administration of schools should be done by a different department?
You're talking about private schools now?
I'm talking about all schools. All schools should be regulated, like for instance in telecom. If you see the telecom regulatory structure, earlier Department of Telecommunication used to own BSNL and MTNL, and it used to also regulate the telecom sector. Then the government said that DoT is not a regulatory body. They created TRAI, and TRAI then allowed private sector and public sector, and it regulates both BSNL, MTNL, and Vodafone and Airtel, private and public both. Similarly, in education, one of the reforms that has been pending for a long period of time is this bifurcation of ownership by the government and regulation by the government.
See, as far as regulation is there, whenever the private schools have spoken about any regulation to be brought in the interest of the people or in the interest of the state government has always gone forward. As I just now told you, that the 8% hike, more than 8% hike, was a decision which our government only did. That was also on the demand of some schools which were, giving better infrastructure or giving better education or the facilities they were providing to the children. So any idea of such a sort, what you are referring to, will be obviously debated and taken up at an appropriate level, because it will not be appropriate for me to comment individually on this, because it will be a collective decision of the state government. And let me put it across at an appropriate level, maybe get the issue whole examined, because if you look at from the Punjab's perspective, let me put this also very clear to you, that in our state, what is happening, if you look at from the private schools perspective, that every town has a different model of collecting fees. So the cost to student in your terminology, what it is, if there is a small town, so he's charging a monthly fees in which he's incorporating everything. And if there's a big town, they are charging every year an annual fees or a building fund or some other fees. So every small town or a big town in the state of Punjab, when it comes to a private school, they are following a different model. So suppose I have to execute an order in the state of Punjab, which the Honorable High Court has brought in which he said that only they can charge 70% of the fees. If I brought an order to say that only tuition fees is to be charged, so it becomes practically also difficult for me to get that whole order executed on ground very effectively or properly. So what you are suggesting, I think that regulation will be able to give us an opportunity to regulate so many other things which are connected with the education system in the entire state of Punjab. Because whatever is happening till now is everything. What I understand is everything is like happening in a haywire manner. So if there is a small town in the border district of Punjab, whether he's paying fees to the teacher or not, I have come to know because I put my email ID in public domain. That's how I have come to know. Otherwise, I would have not come to know.
Absolutely.
Second thing is what I shared with you during my opening remark, in which I just now said that there is a very close relation between the school management, the parent, and the child. I don't want that should break also, because the kind of confidence they enjoy amongst each other, that should always be kept intact, and because each one knows each one's difficulties. If a teacher is working in a particular town for 2,000 rupees, he or she is working because she or he knows that she needs 2,000 rupees, and she can earn those 2,000 after serving a school for 6 hours. For me sitting here and doing a regulation to say that she may be paid minimum 12,000, that will neither be suitable to the school or not. It will be suitable to the.
Pricing is not the job of the government. I mean, market.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So it is the mutual relationship between the three is so solid amongst them, and we also wanted that many issues should be resolved amongst themselves. We also understand that if a private school management feels that he's our weak parent, or he's a child of a weak parent, they will also not ask for fees till the time they actually feel that now is the right time to pay up. Rather, I appeal to all the private school owners to say that we must analyze that COVID-19 situation is there. We also know what kind of children coming from which background are studying in our schools. We should also try and give that leverage, and that will be our service towards COVID-19.